Hello everyone, welcome back to Quicks14Blog, continuing our Star Trek Online live game Head Start tutorial and avatar creation. Really at the tutorial now. Right where we left off, fighting these Borg hordes, I guess you could say. Basically, you're taking a culmination of all the little pieces you've learned of combat up to this point and applying it here. There's nothing to really be scared about. These guys don't hit that hard. There's quite a bit of them. There's a lot of NPCs helping you out. Take your time, get used to combat on the ground, and be familiar with it, because it'll be a little while before you really get back to it again. Not too long, but long enough. Of course, the two big bars to look at is your shield and your health. Shield is the light blue bar that you can see up there, and the green is your health bar. The light blue bar will recharge when you're not in combat, so if it's low, dodge out of combat. Your green bar will slowly go up, and I mean slowly. So, depending on what you got. You do start with some health kits, so if you need to use it, feel free to do so. Other than that, combat isn't too difficult. Melee damage always does direct health damage, not shield damage. So just important to note. So after you're done with that, you go ahead and move on. You're going to learn about all the different officer types. Just like you, there is science, tactical, and engineering bridge officers you can select. These are your specialists and everything, and it adds kind of a personal element to touch for your ship. And again, another one of those great customization things. Not only can you choose what type of officer you want, but you can actually do a little customization on it as soon as you receive them. It gives you information about them, and you can change their costume. You can also rename them. There's even more advanced options where you can pay a certain amount of energy credits or commendation for officer points or whatever, and you can actually change how they look. So that's pretty cool. So you can personalize it, customize it as much as you want, even change their biography, all that good stuff. So, once you're done with that, pick your officer. You're going to go ahead and transport back to your ship. But instead of being inside, you're going to be in ship view, the ship tactical view. Like I said, there's two ways to play the game. There is ground, and there is, of course, space. Space is going to be very, very different, and now you're going to actually learn how it is. First, I'm going to explain a little story of how you become a captain of your ship. Borg have killed all the officers, and you are the highest ranking officer or highest ranking person left on the ship, basically, and so you become captain. Woohoo! Instant promotion, gotta love it. So, even though you're not really promoted, but anyway, cannon holes, but whatever. So you're going to be taught basic movement, combat. You can see I'm skipping a lot of this. I know how to do it, so I'm not too worried about it. There's different ways to do it. WASD keys is your standard turn and pitch of your ship. You can also E and Q is your acceleration, deceleration. You can also use hold down the mouse, both your mouse keys, left and right, and if you hold those down, you can actually move the ship and the camera at the same time. I don't like WASD keys so much, and I haven't remapped it to the arrow keys because they're used for, if you watch the beta when I was talking about it, they're used for shield recharging. So, yeah. So basically, just do a real easy little task here, just learning ship movement, how to interact with stuff, very basic stuff, how to find your way in ship view. There's a nice shot of the ship. The basics. Now, your starting ship may look like this. I believe it's random exactly what type or type of ship you have. There's 3 types of each class of ship. This is a light cruiser or light escort, or one of the early, the newbie ships, basically. And in this case, this is a Miranda I start with. Later on, you'll see that you can actually customize it between those 3 types to combination of different parts to make your own ship. Once you're done with that, you'll go ahead and warp out of the area, and you'll warp into the next area. Now you're going to do a little ship combat, get a little hang of combat, attacking some damaged spheres, learning the basics once again, just getting you a feel for what's going on. Ship combat is definitely a lot of fun. It's even a lot more funner when you have more people and you're a team fighting. It's just a lot of fun. So ship combat's pretty straightforward. It's not too difficult. Simply target your ship that you want to target, standard targeting keys just like on ground, and then of course you can use 1, 2, 3, all the normal shortcut keys. There's also even specific keys to fire all your beam, your phaser weapons, or energy weapons, or all your disruptors, and all your torpedoes, or just all weapons as well. So there's a variety of different things. The shield recharging is pretty simple too. There's a lot of micromanagement in there, as much as you want or don't want. Your officers also bring something new to the party. Each officer usually has his own ground and space ability. In this case, I picked a tactical officer and came with prime torpedo spread, basically, or something like that. So instead of firing, when I have it activated, instead of firing 1 torpedo, I can fire 2. And there's a variety of different types, different ship classes as you go up will actually keep, just depending upon their role and how they fall in things, will give you more slots of different types. Like for example, the cruiser, which is the next ship type you can get once you become lieutenant commander, will actually have 2 engineering slots instead of 1. There's a lot of depth here, but it's still pretty easy to get into and play. I think that's why it's fun. I said there is a lot of depth, a lot of variety, a lot of things to do, and a lot of things to keep you busy, while the basic fundamentals of stuff, ground, space, and everything that goes with it is pretty straightforward. If you've ever played any of the Starfleet Command games, you're going to feel pretty at home here. It's not going to seem as complicated, and you'll probably find it's a lot more streamlined. I know I've played a bit of those games, and I found this to be much, much easier. So once you're done destroying some spheres, getting you the basics of combat in this one, you go and refine that combat skill a little bit more, killing a few more spheres, and then you're actually going to go on the ground, do an actual ground mission. You take an away team, which basically consists of you and your bridge officer. Just to give you a taste of what things are, you're going to go in there, you're going to do some more mission-based stuff in this instance, and you'll get some weapons and also your first kit. Kits are basically specials for ground. Depending upon your engineering or science or tactical, you can get a hold of different kits that will give you different advantages or buffs or things of that nature during combat. Since you are a captain, since you are the charge, you can actually have 2 weapons. You can have a primary weapon and a secondary weapon, and you can switch between the 2 at will, which is really nice. All your bridge officers can also have 1 weapon, armor, things of that nature, as you can see here. So you have your shields, you have body, which is basically your armor. Kit is for your kits and weapons, and then your inventory, your devices. Officers can have armor as well. They don't have kits. They have their own abilities, so keep that in mind. First thing you're going to have you do is, once you've gotten your new weapons, gotten your kit, all that good stuff, I'm going to send you out there to find basically these civilians and rescue them from the Borg. Your bridge officer will help you. As you can see in the upper left, right underneath me, her information. There's a request reinforcements button, which will actually beam down red shirts, security officers from your ship, to help out and fill out your group. You can have up to, I believe, 5 in your way team, possibly more as you go up in rank. You can of course command your teammates of your away team as long as they're NPCs and they are yours to command. You can go ahead and do that, very much like pets. Pretty standard like that. See that there was a phaser spread, basically of like a stun, and that helps reduce it. Disintegration, gotta love it. Enemies also have the standard stuff. They have shields and health usually. Usually the white represents shields, and green, of course, represents their health. So once you're done with that on the ground, you'll go ahead and transport back up to your ship, and then you're going to do basically two things. You're going to destroy a larger sphere that's damaged, and you're going to help destroy a large damaged Borg cube. Very cool stuff, and you'll see that in part 3.